or even a like emergency fund for anybody in the community that donates. They would be available. Like, you never know when your dog might run off and get hit by a car. That's just something you don't expect.
Right.
So it would be available to the entire community. But that's future plans.
right.
But
Okay.
we definitely need to start at the spay neuter for sure. But we want everything to be available to everybody. A lot of places only allow certain incomes, but we want everybody to have that availability.
Okay. It's a noble cause. So, anybody got any questions?
I
for
do.
Allison?
Allison, about how many volunteers do you have on hand?
Let's see, we have about, like, I mostly do the sanitation of his instruments. Once they are done, they come to me, and I sanitize them in autoclave. So it's me and another girl doing that. We have someone recovering the animals. We have 4 prep volunteers. So we need about 10 people. It's actually kind of fun.
And
So a
you-
lot of people enjoy themselves, honestly.
And you take us through one day.
Okay.
One day of, from start to finish, you all are there. How do the animals get to point A?
Yeah, so right now, that's where I'll start, because we are taking them all the way to Hartford, which it's about to move to Morgantown, because Butler County just started a brand-new spay neuter clinic, which we're following in their footsteps, hopefully. So they drop off in the morning, we check everybody in, they sign a waiver, they understand there's risk with surgery, no matter what. We load the animals, we take them to Hartford, and then we put them through like an assembly line almost, for lack of a better term. They are sedated, they are sterilized and, well, shaved, sterilized, and then they are given to the vet. And he does the surgery, and then we take them to recovery. Like, he stands, literally, he has a table here and a table here. Animal starts here, he's done, moves, and we're just already prepped and moving it along. So we get 100 animals done in about 4 hours.
How many days a week? Every day?
1 day a week right now.
One day a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you
Which,
are
that's what Dr.
volunteers.
Rose said he's open to doing
Right.
too, is 1 day a week.
Yeah.
And then he's talking about retirement maybe, and then, he might be full-time.
My understanding was, I don't know where I got it, that they would be the $50 for females and 40 for males.
That is for cats.
Oh, that's for cats?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So that is our cat pricing. I think we've worked it out with Dr. Rowe to do 30 for males though. So that'll be
Okay.
kind of a little bit cheaper, but then that extra 10 right now is kind of helping us with gas and repairs
Right.
on the van and things like
Okay.
that, yeah.
So you say van, whose van is it?
It was donated to us by Snyder's Body Works. And they will do the repairs and stuff for us too, for a low cost.
Anyone else? Thank you, Allison.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you guys coming.
Thank y'all. You can go, or you all can stay and listen.
Tommy's gonna get out of here.
That's what I do. Thank you, Don. He's got a pair on his head.
Okay, next down is second and final reading of the ordinance related to RZ-24-130 to change property owned by Ethan Woosley, PVA number 083-08-08-038, from R1 Single Family Low Density to R2A Single Family High Density. You have that, Tyler?
An ordinance amending and adopting an amended zoning map entitled Zoning Map Litchfield, Kentucky by changing the district classification of the property located in Litchfield, Kentucky as hereinafter described from R1 Single Family Low Density to R2A Single Family High Density. Whereas the Litchfield Planning Commission of Litchfield, Kentucky on May 13th, 2024 held a public hearing on application number RZ-24-130. The property is currently owned by Ethan Woosley and others and is designated as a property having a PVA number 083-08-05-038, being more particularly described in Deed Book 511, page 539, records of the Grayson County Clerk's Office, and being located at 213 North Clinton Street, Litchfield, Kentucky. The request asks for a change from R1 Single Family Low Density to R2A Single Family High Density. And whereas city council members conducted a review of the record and evidence presented before the Litchfield Planning Commission, and its recommendation is that the zoning map amendment be approved as affects this property. Its recommendation is attached and incorporated herein by reference. And now therefore be it ordained by the city of Litchfield, Kentucky as follows: boundaries of the district as shown on district map entitled Zoning Map Litchfield, Kentucky, being same is hereby amended for reasons adopted, all of which is made a part hereof, is fully set out herein, including the rezoning request from the Planning Commission dated 5/13/2024 to the Litchfield City Council, so the property is described as follows. Refer to property description PVA number 083-08-05-038, deed book 511, page 539, records of the Grayson County Clerk's Office, and being located at 213 North Clinton Street, Litchfield, Kentucky 42754. Now zoned R2A, single-family high density after the adoption of this ordinance. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect following publication as required by law. This ordinance or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith are repealed to the extent of such conflict, giving a second reading on and duly enacted by the legislative body of the city of Litchfield, Kentucky on the first day of July 2024, after first being read on the 17th day of June 2024.
Okay. Any questions from Tyler on what he read? If not, I'll entertain a motion in a second, and we'll have a roll call.
So moved. Motion.
Motion by Billy, second by Clayton. Denny?
Aye.
Gina?
Aye.
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 Thank you. All right, moving on down, we have a second and final reading of the ordinance related to RZ-24-131 to change property owned by the Church of God of Prophecy, PVA number 083-05-00-058, from R2 Single Family Medium Density to P1 Public Institutional. Tyler?
An ordinance amending and adopting an amended zoning map entitled Zoning Map Litchfield, Kentucky by changing the district classification of property located in Litchfield, Kentucky as hereinafter described from R2 Single Family Medium Density to P1 Public Institutional. Whereas the Litchfield Planning Commission of Litchfield, Kentucky on June 10th, 2024 held a public hearing on application number RZ-24-131. The property is currently owned by Church of God of Prophecy and is designated as property having a PVA number 083-05-00-058, being more particularly described in deed book 476, page 640, records of the Grayson County Clerk's Office, and being located at the 400 block of Lilac Road, Litchfield, Kentucky. The request asked for a change from R2 Single Family Medium Density to P1 Public Institutional. And whereas city council members conducted a review of the record and evidence presented before the Litchfield Planning Commission, and its recommendation is that the zoning map amendment be approved as affects this property. Its recommendation is attached and incorporated herein by reference. And now therefore be it ordained by the city of Litchfield, Kentucky as follows: boundaries of the district as shown on district map entitled Zoning Map Litchfield, Kentucky, being same is hereby amended for reasons adopted, all of which is made a part hereof, is fully set out herein, including the rezoning request from the Planning Commission dated 6/10/2024 to the Litchfield City Council. So the property is described as follows. Refer to property description PVA number 083-05-00-058, deed book 476, page 640, records of the Grayson County Clerk's Office, and being located at the 400 block of Lilac Road, Litchfield, Kentucky 42754, now zoned P1 Public Institutional after the adoption of this ordinance. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect following publication as required by law. This ordinance or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith are repealed to the extent of such conflict, giving a second reading and duly enacted by the legislative body of the city of Litchfield, Kentucky on the first day of July 2024, after first being read on the 17th day of June 2024.
Okay. If there aren't any questions for Tyler, I'll entertain a motion in a second, and we'll have a roll call for this one.
I make a motion. We accept Tyler's reading on the Church of God Prophecy.
Okay, motion by Clayton,
I'll second.
second by Gina. Denny?
Aye.
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 Thank you, guys. Next up, second and final reading of the ordinance related to RZ-24-132 to change property owned by Scotty Higdon, PVA number 084-07-00-041 from R2 Single Family Density to C1 Highway Commercial.
An ordinance amending and adopting an amended zoning map entitled Zoning Map Litchfield, Kentucky by changing the district classification of the property located in Litchfield, Kentucky as hereinafter described from R2 Single Family Medium Density to C1 Highway Commercial. Whereas the Litchfield Planning Commission of Litchfield, Kentucky on June 10th, 2024 held a public hearing on application number RZ-24-132. The property is currently owned by Scotty Higdon and is designated as a property having a PVA number 084-07-00-041 and 084-07-00-037, being more particularly described in Deed Book 507, page 13, and Deed Book 472, page 118, records of the Grayson County Clerk's Office, and being located at 609 White Street and 118 Westlake Drive, Litchfield, Kentucky. The request asks for change from R2 Single Family Medium Density to C1 Highway Commercial. And whereas City Council members conducted a review of the record and evidence presented before the Litchfield Planning Commission, and its recommendation is that the zoning map amendment be approved as affects this property. Its recommendation is attached and incorporated herein by reference. And now therefore be it ordained by the City of Litchfield, Kentucky as follows: boundaries of the district as shown on district map entitled Zoning Map Litchfield, Kentucky, being same is hereby amended for reasons adopted, all of which is made a part hereof, is fully set out herein, including the rezoning request from the Planning Commission dated 6/10/2024 to the Litchfield City Council. So the property is described as follows. Refer to property description PVA number 084-07-00-041 and 084-07-00-037. Deed Book 507, page 13, and Deed Book 472, page 118, records of the Grayson County Clerk's Office, and being located at 609 White Street and 118 Westlake Drive, Litchfield, Kentucky 42754, now zoned C1 Highway Commercial after the adoption of this ordinance. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect following publication as required by law. This ordinance or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith are repealed to the extent of such conflict, giving a second reading on and duly enacted by the legislative body of the City of Litchfield, Kentucky on the first day of July 2024 after being first read on the 17th day of June 2024.
Okay. If there aren't any questions on that, I'll entertain a motion in a second to have a roll
I'll
call.
make a motion.
Motion by Billy, second by Clayton. Denny?
Aye.
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 All right, thank you, guys. All right, next up is resolution for new demolition program. Arlene, do you have that?
Yes, I will actually won't need to read this, but you can look over it. Tyler had went over this program with us the last time we were here at the meeting. I basically just reduced it to a resolution form and changed the format and some wording, but the heart of what Tyler had typed up and proposed to the council is included in this resolution.
Okay. Do we need to read that, Arlene, or?
No, don't need to read it, we'll just need to take a vote.
Okay, good. I didn't hear you, I don't think. I was trying to hear, but I couldn't hear
Okay,
everything you
yeah,
said.
just need to take a vote on it, no reading.
Okay. So I'll entertain a motion to accept this resolution.
I'll make a motion to accept this resolution.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Gina, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. Okay, first reading of ordinance related to the moratorium reassessment program.
Whereas this, sorry, there we go. Whereas the city of Litchfield may pursuant to KRS 99.595 through 99.605 and KRS 132.45-299 create a program for qualifying properties to be granted a city property tax reduction. And whereas in order to promote a reduction in housing costs and economic development to the community, such a program is in the best interest of the citizens of Litchfield. Now therefore be it ordained by the City of Litchfield, Kentucky as follows. Property assessment and reassessment moratorium program established. The City of Litchfield hereby establishes a property assessment and reassessment moratorium program for qualifying properties pursuant to KRS 99.595 through 99.605 and KRS 132.452. All owners of existing residential or commercial structures at least 25 years old may qualify for a reassessment moratorium if the cost of the improvements made to the structure to repair, rehabilitate, restore, or stabilize are equal to at least 25% of the value of the improvements on the property based on the latest assessment made by the Grayson County Property Valuation Administrator. The administrating agencies for the moratorium program in the City of Litchfield shall be the City of Litchfield Code Enforcement Department. Applications shall be received and reviewed by the Litchfield Code Enforcement Department and forwarded to the Grayson County Property Valuation Administrator to complete the inspection phase of the assessment process. The applications for moratorium certificates shall be made to the Litchfield Code Enforcement Department at least 30 days prior to any construction work on the property is begun. Each application for a moratorium certificate will include or be accompanied by a general description of the property, proof the property is at least 25 years old, a general description of the proposed use of the property, the nature and extent of the restoration, repair, rehabilitation, stabilization, and cost estimates based on bids submitted to the owner, a time schedule for undertaking and completing the project. If the property is commercial, a descriptive list of the fixed building equipment, which will be part of the facility, and a statement of the economic advantage. Expected construction employment shall be part of the application. The Litchfield Code Enforcement Department and the Grayson County Property Valuation Administrator shall maintain a record of all applications for a property assessment or reassessment moratorium. The Property Valuation Administrator shall access or reassess the property within the 30 days of receipt of the application. Completion of improvements, applicants shall have 2 years as approved by the Litchfield Code Enforcement Department in which to complete the improvements unless granted an extension by the Litchfield Code Enforcement Department. In no case shall the application be extended beyond 2 additional years. Upon notice by the applicant to the Litchfield Code Enforcement Department that the work has been completed on the property, a Litchfield Code Enforcement officer shall conduct an on-site inspection of the property to certify that the improvements described in the application have been completed. The Litchfield Code Enforcement Department shall then certify to the Property Valuation Administrator that the improvements have been completed and the moratorium certificate shall be issued. However, no moratorium certificate will be issued on a property in which there are delinquent City of Litchfield bills. Any application for an assessment or reassessment moratorium not acted upon by the applicant shall become void 2 years from the date of application. The moratorium shall become effective on the assessment date next following the issuance of the moratorium certificate and shall remain in effect for 5 years. An assessment or reassessment moratorium certificate may be transferred or assigned by the holder of the certificate to a new owner or leasee of the property. Any property granted an assessment or reassessment moratorium may be eligible for a subsequent moratorium certificate provided that reapplication is made prior to the expiration of 3 years following the expiration of the original moratorium. On the assessment date next following the expiration, cancellation, or revocation of assessment or reassessment moratorium, the property shall be assessed on the basis of its full fair market value. Value may be based on the guidelines administered by the Property Valuation Administrator. If any provision of this chapter is now or becomes amended or its application to any person or circumstance is held invalid, the invalidity does not affect other provisions that can be given effect without the invalid provision or application. And I did read a typo at the very beginning on the KRS, and I just wanted to make note of that. At the very beginning under the first whereas, KRS should be read whereas KRS 132.452, not with the additional 99. So for a second reading, I'll make sure that that's not read.
Thank you, Earlene. You want to have any questions or comments about that?
I had one,
Yeah.
I talked to Arlene about it, the definitions that I
Yeah,
think some of us was concerned about having.
Yeah, Denny
definition.
had made note, the KRSs do have definitions to define some of the terms, and I think that's a good point. I can include that with a second reading. It's just basically restating the definitions from the KRS.
Anything else?
That's it.
They're
Thanks.
all on that document that I forwarded to you.
Well,
most
the
all
terms
of
are
them.
there, but the definitions aren't.
Yeah.
So, but I'll look at the KRS, they'll all be there.
Yeah,
so.
that'd be good.
Okay. Next up, we have approval to remove Marcia Young from the checking accounts as a check signer and add Elena Tubb effective 7/29/24.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Billy, second by Clayton. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I also need a motion and a second right now to go into executive session.
I make a motion, we go to executive session.
Motion by Clayton, second by Tootie. All in favor?
Aye.
It's based on KRS 61.810(1)C, possible pending litigation.
That's shirt worthy right there.
What was it? I resemble that remark.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to come back into regular session.
I make a motion, we come back in from executive session.
Got a
So moved.
Second by Billy. All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, Earlene, you want
We discussed some possible pending litigation. There's no action needed at this time to be taken. No details to share at this time.
Okay, thank you, Earlene. All right, next down is unfinished business. Code enforcement amended ordinance for condemned property. Tyler,
We
do you
don't have an update on that at
have
this
an update
time.
on that? Okay. We'll go unfinished business. Billy?
No, sir.
Terry?
I do have one thing. The last meeting, we talked about some possible surveys being distributed to programs and services that are funded by the city of Litchfield. You know, we use our taxpayer dollars. I got a lot of feedback after that, after people heard about the meeting. And where are we on pushing that out?
I mean, if you all want to push it out, somebody's going to have to tell us how to do the process, because I'm not sure what we
Well,
need to
I
do,
mean,
what-
tourism is interested in also using electronic.
I think it's a
surveys.
great idea, and that survey you put together, I thought was really,
Yeah, I
really
thought it
well
was a
thought
good-
out.
So is it something that needs to go to Tammy, and then she pushes, or gives it to Natasha, and who is our softball director?
Alan Dotson.
Alan?
Yeah. I mean, give it to them.
Is the survey something we all got or just sent to a couple of?
The mayor and Lori got it, yeah, because actually, there was already one, you know how we're a part of the Little League organization? There was already one that was supposed to have been going out, so the survey came from the Little League survey.
Gotcha.
Is that something that we could take? I'm assuming most people that signed up and used that service this year we have their email address, possibly, or a phone, that
That
we could
signed
text
up
it to
for
them?
what service?
For the ball programs.
That would be a Tammy question. I'm
I
not-
think it is on there. I just remember.
I don't know what's on, I can't remember what's on the form. It's been so long since I filled out a softball.
I think there's a phone there, there's a contact number.
Well, there's that, and, I mean, she can give it, just let her coaches know. The coaches have all of the contact information.
So is this something that's just simply sent out through an email, not like Survey
A
Monkey
text.
or whatever that is?
No, it's a
Okay.
text.
So,
Okay.
Text the link. Now, the administrator, since I converted everything from the Little League website into the electronic survey, I don't want to know the results. That needs to go to Tammy and the mayor, so that they can, I mean, there's a lot of positive things going on. However, there are things that there were things that people were coming to me with after we talked about it, and I thought, that's a great idea. I'd never even thought of that. But that's something that the mayor and Tammy, or whoever the department head is of whatever program or service that we're issuing this out, that's something that they need to work out and only see. But I can change the administrator on that so that I'm off of it.
Okay. Let us look at it tomorrow, Terry,
Okay.
and see how we want to do it. If it can be sent by text, I think that's probably going to be our
Absolutely.
best.
I mean,
Our best
Tyler,
bet.
you can copy a link in a text and send it out to your parents, correct? Super easy. Most of the parents that have kids playing in our boys and girls programs, they're all younger. They all have cell phones. They all text all the time.
I know a lot of them. I know Kevin uses an app that all his
Yep.
players are signed up to, that you could push it out through.
Yeah.
There's several means that a lot of them, I can't think of what the app's called right off.
I use called Game Changer, they've got
Yeah, there's a bunch of them out there.
We'll sit down tomorrow and look, make a list and get them out and,
Does the director know anything about this? Tammy know anything about it? She probably needs to be in on it too if she's gonna read the survey.
yeah.
Right, I think that's what he's meaning with
Yeah,
us to
we'll
get
sit down
with
with,
tomorrow.
we'll sit down with her and talk about it and see
I
who,
mean, she was, nothing.
so,
The survey came straight from the Little League website that that survey was supposed to have been given to participants.
okay.
A hard copy. Electronic is much simpler, much more accurate,
Yeah.
and you've got all your data right there.
Okay. We'll work on that tomorrow, and I'll let you know what we come up with and how we're gonna go about getting it out.
Okay, thank you. That's
Okay.
all I have.
Judy?
No, sir.
Clayton?
No, sir.
Gina? Danny?
I did have a question about any updates as far as the water problem at K Mill Road. Has anything changed? I know the engineers, Corps of Engineers are supposed to be looking at.
Yeah, not that I know of. I know they had some talk about it at the last meeting. There's some pictures laying over there, some things, or some improvement type things they're doing where the creek crossings are. Some ideas they've got to keep them from washing out like that, 'cause,
They being the Corps or the engineer people? Or is
who,
that us?
which one of them brought those pictures?
It wasn't the core, I don't believe.
No,
I don't know what pictures we got.
hold them up for her, Billy. Oh, here they are. Remember he brought these in, was it Brad? Brought these in the last time. Shows the creek crossing and then the concrete.
Oh, is that from the water leak?
I don't think that's the actual pipe, but that's some of the things they're
We
doing.
think it's improvements they're making to keep from that
Improvements they're
happening.
making to keep that from happening again. When he came in, remember, maybe it's 2 meetings ago, he came in and did the presentation.
Yeah.
It was
I
the
just
night.
thought you were talking about the flooding on Cave Mill Road.
I am, that's what was.
Oh, you're not talking about the water,
No,
the
the
water
flooding on
break?
K Mill Road, I knew.
Okay.
They were looking at the water.
Yeah, so I was confused. I was like, that's the water leak they fixed.
I was thinking about that last week, Denny, and I think at some point, if people are willing to go along, we would have to have right-of-way, especially down Broomfield and where it crosses Cave Mill. It would just be a matter of either going door to door or getting those people together for a meeting to see if they're willing to give the right-of-way for us to do something.
I think that's the
alleviate that.
problem, and it's all private property,
It's all private property.
so.
So that, I think if, maybe that's our next step, you know, is to try and reach out to those people. What, you'd say there probably 8
Yeah, there's probably at least 8 people.
8 or 10 right there that, where it crosses the road and comes down behind them, between them.
Yeah, they would have to sign a drainage easement, basically. We've got some in Kuiper subdivision, different areas already, but I mean, it would have to be drawn up and it goes on their deeds and
I was
all
gonna
that
say,
for us to have a.
if you drew it up and presented it to them and they didn't like it, where do we go there?
You can't really, because it'd be, could still consider private property. So the drainage easement would just basically give us about 10 foot on each side of the center of the drainage, so we can get equipment in to do the work.
Right.
Other than that, that's the only thing the
But I don't
easement.
think I'd want a 20-foot swipe through my backyard, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's,
mean, for my ditch that I mow, can't mow,
I mean, of course, that depends on what we would take to fix the drainage,
right.
but that just gives us the right to be able to get in that area
Yeah, you're
and
not
not
gonna
be
use
on
it.
private
Try to do
property.
something.
Most of the plats already have that easement in them.
Straight
They've already
through
got a
where the
big
creeks are.
ditch.
Yep.
Two of
Any,
them does
any
through their yard.
stormwater drainage, you've got a 10-foot, well, it's 20-foot wide, 10 foot from center on each side.
I'm sure what we would do would be put riprap in, and that would cause another problem for people trying to weed eat and keep it clean and everything, so. It's, a lot of it is dependent on how far the citizens want to go to.
You might have one person here that wants to fix it, and then the next one down don't. So, I mean, it's not gonna benefit you any then. So it needs to be.
Maybe we can reach out to them, we can go out there and identify which houses would be involved and send them a letter, see what replies we get, and kind of go from there.
Doesn't seem to be going away either. I mean, we're getting,
No, I've gone out there several times on big range and looked at it, and where it comes under the road there by Frankie Harnage is the big part of it. right past his house, so.
Okay, thanks.
Anything else, Denny?
That's it, thanks.
Lori? Arlene? Wes?
No, fogging, is it finished, Greg? We're gonna be fogging Wednesday this week instead of Thursday. I don't know if that's new business, old business, but since the holiday, we'll be off, we'll do the fogging Wednesday night
Okay.
for mosquitoes and stuff.
I never did get anything from Heather to put on Facebook or Channel 2.
Huh.
Make sure I do that.
Wesley has a traps coming with counts.
Rained the 2 Wednesdays that I've got ready to set them out, it's been raining, so, and then it did the next night, so we went ahead and just, since it has been so wet, went ahead and sprayed it in all the town. And, so hopefully, we'll start getting a few dry Wednesdays where I can start trapping a little bit and see.
Okay.
Will
David?
Will Thursday's garbage be picked up on Friday? Or how's that gonna work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I do have that on Facebook and Channel 2 also, so.
Yeah, I saw that.
And did you have a truck today, Wesley, that broke down, garbage truck?
Yeah, actually, we had 2 trucks break down today, not at the same time, luckily. One was broke down this morning, and they got it back going about an hour and a half, 2 hours after we started, and then the other truck come in, and it was down for an hour or so, so some of the residents may not have got their trash picked up today like normal, because they didn't get as far as they normally would, but they should be really close.
So if we get calls in the morning, those will be picked up
I
tomorrow.
was gonna say, will those be picked up
They'll
tomorrow?
start back where they stopped, where they left off. So I think they may not have got yours, Tootie. I don't know if they got.
They got mine, but there's some, by the railroad tracks there,
Yeah.
there's some up through there they didn't get.
Yeah.
When they come back towards town.
Right,
So they'll start wherever they left off at.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Wes?
No,
David?
no, sir.
Tyler?
No, sir.
All right. New business, I think you all have a packet there that Chief Riley left for you to look at, medical cannabis discussion. That does go into effect January 1, 2025, right, David?
It does.
And I would imagine there will be questions and concerns about placement of some of those places and everything, so you guys can kind of read over your packet there if you have any questions or anything.
This should be the complete KRS that was adopted, so this will be the actual law that's put into effect
Okay.
January 1st.
And I also have a PowerPoint that I'm gonna email out to everyone.
I think it was included.
Yeah.
It was, we got it.
Is it in the
It was
packet?
in the
Okay,
packet.
okay.
It said the application process starts today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the biggest date to remember is, I believe it's August 13th, is when we would have to know if we're going to put it out on the ballot for the November 5th election, if you wanted to put it out to a public vote of what we wanted to do. So,
What, are you meaning what we want to accept as far as
yes,
process-wise, or?
well, just, any ordinances and regulations, if you wanted to put it out. Now, we can adopt ordinances, it's not required we put it out to election, that's just if it's your all's preference to do it that way. You can adopt ordinances to regulate it without, a public vote.
And if we want to restrict it, we have to have an ordinance.
Yeah. If we.
Say
if
that
we're-
again, Lori.
If we want to restrict it,
We have to have it in
we have
ordinance
to have it in
form.
ordinance form.
So, county also is gonna be facing this same issue, so, just some discussion with the county of, what route they're gonna take I think would be beneficial. But I think, if everyone will review their packets and then we can have a discussion, at the next meeting, and everybody be educated on the subject, and see what route we're looking at. But, that date is looming with the August 13th. So that gives us 2 meetings before the August 13th. If we need to do a special call between then, we can do that also.
Okay. You have a letter in the back of your packet there that explains the police department was awarded a grant in the amount of $20,225.13 from the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security Law Enforcement Protection Program.
Congratulations, David.
Yes,
Thank you.
25 duty pistols and 12,500 rounds of ammo. And that's, that'll-
What they will actually do, they will actually go ahead and they will itemize everything and send it back to us. This is like the award letter.
Yeah.
So they'll have itemization of exactly what we can use that for, that they'll send to us at a later date.
Are they changing calibers?
Are-
Are the guns going?
We are.
Y'all
We're going
changing
from
calibers?
40s to 9s. There's several reasons for that. Actually, these weapons we got now was from 2013. So in training, we've used it, they've been used a lot. So it gives us a chance to update, and the cost of the ammo and the availability of the ammo will be a lot better for us on the 9mm. Also, you know, it's just the technology is a little bit better on these weapons, and we have a chance to put optics on them and different things. So
So do you have a gun guy? Do you
we
have some?
do. We actually have 3. We
Really?
have 1 armor, and we have 3 guys that are in the firearms instructors. Actually, this grant was actually written by SRO Chase Melton. So we actually submitted the first one about a year ago, and we submitted it a second time, and we got it. So we participate, actually, this grant, we participate, all the weapons that we confiscate, we turn into Kentucky State Police for sale, and that's why we're eligible for this grant. So we just participate in that grant.
So do you give them to the state, or they buy them from you?
No, we give them to the state and they auction them off.
Then they sell them?
They do. They do. And this particular thing, this Homeland Security goes for vest, it goes for a lot. It goes for body armor and all kinds of stuff. So it's actually very good.
okay. I'll entertain a motion to allow me to sign for that agreement.
I make a motion to allow the mayor to sign.
Motion by Clayton, second by Tootie. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
New business, Billy,
No, sir.
Terry,
No.
Tootie,
No, sir.
Clayton,
No, sir.
Gina, Danny,
No, sir.
Lori, Erland, Wes, David.
No, sir.
Tyler. Okay. All right. Other reminder, there will be a beautification committee meeting on July 15th at 5 p.m. And the next chamber luncheon is Thursday, July 11th at noon. And please let Lori know no later than Monday, July 8th, if you plan to attend.
If y'all could let me know by Wednesday, I'm gonna be on vacation. I've got Clayton, I think Clayton is the only one I got.
Let me down.
I'll get Tootie. I'm gonna be on vacation starting Thursday all the way through next week.
Yeah, you can put me down too, Lori.
Huh?
Me down too.
I got you too, yep.
All right. All right, if there are no other questions or concerns, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion by Clayton, have a second.
Second.
Second by Tootie, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, folks.